super cool friends. Today we are going to be doing a lesson inspired by one of my favorite creatures, the snail. I love snails because they have an awesome spiral shell and they're all a little bit unique. So for our lesson today, you're going to need some sort of piece of paper to draw on, a marker or a pencil or something to outline your project, and then a coloring tool. I'll be using colored oil pastels today, but you could use crayons, you could use markers, you could use paint, anything to help you practice something that we're going to do special to color in the shell. So we are of course going to start with our mantra today so we can be super strong and ready for our art lesson. All right, so get your hands ready. Let's do it together. Here we go. My mantra: I am positive, I am creative, I am mindful, I am amazing, I am an artist. Okay, practicing saying those things can help you practice being those things. I need to practice too, so that's why we have the mantra. Gather your supplies and let's get started on our snail. All right, friends, you may want to sketch out your snail today with a pencil first in case you need to do any erasing, but for ease of viewing, I'm going to go right away with my marker. So, of course, I love to start with my favorite part of the snail, which is the shell. So we're going to make a big spiral on our page, and I actually just make a continuous line up to the head and then back down to where that little wormy body is. So if you can do it all in one big line, that would be awesome. So we're going to start here, curl around the outside, kind of keep that line kind of wide, one more, whoop. Then I'm gonna get a little bit closer here, come back up the top for the face of my snail, like a little worm, and come back down, little wiggle, and come back in. So I just did the whole snail body and the head the whole snail shell and the head and body at the same time. Now I just need to add a few little details. So maybe your snail has some big googly eyes. Maybe your snail's taking a lazy little nap and he's got his eyes closed. Maybe your snail has a crown on or sunglasses, or she's doing something different. Your snail can do whatever you would like it to do. So I'm gonna make a big curly antenna, like it's kind of flying in the wind. More spirals, ooh, like that. And I'll do, let's see, if it's going fast in the wind, maybe it's gonna have big open eyes like this. Yeah, going for a little snail run. So slowly. Okay, this is how I'm gonna do my eyes, and I'm gonna leave a little bit of a highlight because that helps make my snail look like it's awake, and I'm gonna do a big, silly open mouth. Yay! Some little silly snail teeth. For some reason, that's where my mind's going today, and then we're gonna give it a smile. Cool. Now you can add any other little details, like maybe you want to make a horizon line where the sky and the earth meet. Maybe you just want your snail to be floating in the middle of your page. But after you have finished the drawing of your snail, now it's time for us to color in a specific way. We are going to practice making our snail have a shell that is the order of the rainbow. So let's review for a second before we actually color. Our snail's done, it's time to color. What is the first color in the rainbow? I know, it is red. The next color in the rainbow is orange. And the third color in the rainbow is yellow. Next is green. Then it's blue. And lastly, it is violet. Some friends like to do a special little color in here called indigo, but for the sake of having just 6 colors today, we are going to do just these 6. If you have lots of in-between colors, we call those intermediate colors or tertiary colors, the ones that are kind of like a blue-green or a red-violet. You can use those too, but the oil pastels will work really well today because we're going to blend or mix in between. Same thing if you're using a crayon or if you're using a marker, you can do the same exact thing. So I have all my rainbow colors. Now I'm just going to lay out where I need them to be. So I'm going to start in the middle here, and I'm going to color the center of my snail's shell red. Then I'm going to leave a little bit of kind of a light whispery space, and I'm going to move to the next color, which I know is orange. And I'm going to color over this one, and then somewhere in between those two colors, I'm going to mix like this and blend that together. What color does that make? We would call that color red-orange. We always say the primary color first, and since red is primary, we would say red-orange, not orange-red. Okay, let's keep going. After orange is yellow, and I'll go right next to it, and then I'll blend in between. Let's practice this one too. What does this color make? In between yellow and orange is yellow-orange, because we know yellow is the primary color, so we'd say yellow-orange. Good, so now I'm gonna keep going down my rainbow and keep going around until I hit the end of my snail's shell. And by the time I finish that, I should have a big, beautiful, blended rainbow on my snail's shell where I can practice colors mixing as well as my coloring skills. Okay, so I'm gonna finish coloring my snail's shell in rainbow order. Rainbow snail looks awesome. Even if you use paint and blend in the middle or just do crayon and kind of overlap, this technique will still work amazingly. So the last thing I'm going to do is just color the snail's body, and I'm going to use kind of a blended sort of pulled technique. So I'm going to go around the outside of this line where I have my Sharpie, and I'll just do the bottom so you can see what it looks like first. And then I'm going to take my finger and just pull these little lines into the middle of my snail's body. You could even do this with multiple colors, like see how I pulled in a little bit of that turquoise, it still works really well, and then push this one up to the top. So it's kind of a fun way to use the material that you have chosen in a special way. So I'm gonna finish coloring this part, maybe give the antennas a special little color, and we're just about done. The last thing I'm going to do is just to cut out my snail. I'm gonna do a little bubble cut around the antennas and I'll be good to go. I just love my little snail friend. So happy. Kind of a face I often make too. So you can use your rainbow snail to help you practice the order of the rainbow, or even practicing different kinds of ways to use materials. So I'm gonna hang this guy up and he's gonna bring me lots of joy and happiness. Now my friends, we are of course gonna end with a little mindful meditation so that we can be super strong and ready for the rest of our day. And just like our snail's shell, how it spirals around, we're gonna draw that spiral in the air during the in-breath or the inhale of our breathing, and then unwind on the way out. So looks like this, but we'll go just a little bit slower. Let's try 2 spiral breaths. So get your finger ready. You can have that one hand on your tummy if you want to just practice feeling your belly getting bigger at the same time. Okay, here we go. Good. One more. All right, that's it. So hopefully you feel strong and are ready and relaxed for the rest of the day. Remember, you are strong, you are amazing, you are resilient, and I love you. We will see you next time.